everyone. Hey, everyone. Welcome to F8. So today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to walk through our roadmap for the next 10 years. I think we can all underestimate just how much the world can change in 10 years. In a decade, video will look like as big of a shift in the way we all share and communicate as mobile has been. Messaging and private communication will unlock new platforms for accessing all kinds of different services. Connectivity will give everyone, not just a third of people in the wealthiest countries, access to all of the opportunities of the internet, including resources for education, health, and jobs. Artificial intelligence will power all kinds of different services with better than human level perception. And we'll see the emergence of the next major computing platform in virtual and augmented reality. These are all elements of our 10-year roadmap to connect the world. And each of these elements is in service of our mission and is about bringing people together, because that's what we do here. Now, before we get into detail, I want to take a step back for a minute. And I want to talk about our mission for a moment, and why I care about it so much, and why I think that the work that we're all doing here together is more important now than it's ever been. We stand for connecting every person, for a global community, for bringing people together, for giving all people a voice, for a free flow of ideas and culture across nations. And this idea of connecting the world has gotten stronger over the last century. You can now travel almost anywhere in the world in less than a day. Countries trade more openly and cooperate more easily than ever. And the internet has enabled all of us to access and share more ideas and information than ever before. We've gone from a world of isolated communities to one global community, and we're all better off for it. But now, as I look around and as I travel around the world, I'm starting to see people and nations turning inward against this idea of a connected world and a global community. I hear fearful voices calling for building walls and distancing people they label as others, for blocking free expression, for slowing immigration, reducing trade, and in some cases around the world, even cutting access to the internet. It takes courage to choose hope over fear, to say that we can build something and make it better than it has ever been before. You have to be optimistic to think that you can change the world. And people will always call you naive, but it's this hope and this optimism that is behind every important step forward. Our lives are connected. And whether we're welcoming a refugee fleeing war or an immigrant seeking new opportunity, whether we're coming together to fight global disease like Ebola or to address climate change, I hope that we have the courage to see that the path forward is to bring people together, not push people apart, to connect more, not less. We are one global community. The mother in India who wants to work so her family can have a better life. The father in the US who wants a cleaner planet for his children. The daughter in Sierra Leone who just needs basic health care and education so she can stay safe and reach her full potential. And that young boy in Syria who is doing the best he can with the cards he's been dealt to find a good path forward in the world. And we, sitting here today, are part of this community too. And if the world starts to turn inwards, then our community will just have to work even harder to bring people together. And that's why I think the work that we're all doing is so important. Because we can actually give more people a voice. Instead of building walls, we can help people build bridges. And instead of dividing people, we can help bring people together. We do it one connection at a time. One innovation at a time. Day after day after day. And that's why I think the work that we're all doing together is more important now than it's ever been before. Welcome to F8. So that's why our 10-year roadmap is focused on building the technology to give everyone in the world the power to share anything they want with anyone. That's our goal. Now, let's look at the word everyone for a moment. Most people in the world, more than 4 billion people, are not even on the internet today. And we need to change this. Because beyond communication, we know that for every 10 people who get online, about 1 person gets lifted out of poverty because they get access to tools for education and finding jobs. So in our 10-year roadmap, we're focused on all of the things that we need to do to help more people get online, from making data cheaper to building completely new technologies like drones and satellites and laser communication systems. Now let's look at the word anything. We all have a desire to be understood and to relate to each other. So we're always looking for better and richer ways to express ourselves and share with one another. When I was a baby and I took my first steps, my parents wrote down the date in a baby book so that they could share it with their friends and family. When my nephews took their first steps, my sister took photos and videos on her phone so she could send them to us. And when my daughter Max takes her first steps, hopefully later this year, I want to capture the whole scene, right, with a 360 video. So I can send it to my family and my friends, and they can go into VR and feel like they're actually right there in the living room with us. We're always trying to get closer to this purest form of capturing an idea or an experience. And then there's the third part, with anyone. Sometimes we just want to talk to one friend. Sometimes we want to hang out with a few friends. Sometimes we have something that we want to share with all our friends, or with all our coworkers, or with an entire community, like marathon runners or Golden State Warriors fans. And sometimes we want to share something with the whole world. So that's why we're developing a whole family of apps to create a world-class experience for all of the different groups of people that you want to share with. So this is the goal. Give everyone the power to share anything they want with anyone. And here's our 10-year roadmap to get there. Now, we have a playbook for building these services. First, we build a new technology that can help people share and connect in some new ways. Then we take that technology and we build it into a product that we think 1 billion or more people could use and benefit from. And then finally, once a product is at scale, we build a full ecosystem around that product of developers and businesses and partners. So our roadmap for the next 10 years has 3 horizons. We have a community and ecosystem today that we need to grow to reach many times its current scale to reach its full potential. We have several products that are already at scale with lots of people using them that we now need to build into full ecosystems with developers and businesses. And we have new technologies that we need to develop so they can be large-scale products in their own right. So let's start by talking about what we're building around our most developed ecosystem, the Facebook app and platform. Now, we launched Platform almost a decade ago. And since then, hundreds of thousands of developers, like all of you, have built millions of apps to connect more than 1 billion people. And our developer community building apps keeps growing. In the last year, it has grown 40%, with now more than 70% of developers and apps outside of the US. Our second largest community is in India, and Africa is growing incredibly quickly in our developer community. So today, you're going to hear about all of the new tools that we're announcing that will help you build, grow, and monetize your apps. And we're also going to talk about a lot of new infrastructure that we're open sourcing, from our data centers and all of the tools that we built to run that, to our mobile frameworks like React Native and tools like HHVM. So the Facebook platform keeps getting stronger. And of all the things we're going to talk about today, you can have a bigger impact building with these tools for the next few years than the other things that are not yet at scale. So now let's talk about the next 5 years and how we're going to build ecosystems around our products that are already starting to be used by lots of people. Now, one of the platforms that I'm most excited about is Messenger. Last year, Messenger was the fastest growing app in the US, ahead of even Facebook, which was second. Messenger just passed 900 million monthly actives. And now, between Messenger and WhatsApp, people are sending about 60 billion messages a day. So to put that in perspective, at its peak, global SMS volume was right around 20 billion messages a day. So we're processing about 3 times as many messages as SMS ever did, and these services are still growing incredibly quickly. So now that Messenger has scaled, we're starting to develop ecosystems around it. And the first thing we're doing is exploring how you can all communicate with businesses. Now, you probably interact with dozens of businesses every day, and some of them are probably really meaningful to you. But I've never met anyone who likes calling a business. And no one wants to have to install a new app for every service or business that they want to interact with. So we think that there's got to be a better way to do this. We think that you should just be able to message a business in the same way you'd message a friend. You should get a quick response, and it shouldn't take your full attention like a phone call would, and you shouldn't have to install a new app. So today we're launching Messenger Platform, so you can build bots for Messenger. And it's a simple platform. It's powered by artificial intelligence, so you can build natural language services to communicate directly with people. So let's take a look. So CNN, for example, is going to be able to send you a daily digest of stories right into Messenger. And the more you use it, the more personalized it'll get. And if you want to learn about a specific topic, like, say, the Supreme Court nomination or the Zika virus, you just send a message, and it'll send you that information. Or take 1-800-Flowers. I love this one. Now, if you want to send a message, flower, you don't have to install a new app or enter your credit card again. You just send a message. And I bet that's not who you thought those flowers were going to. I know someone who's sitting here today who also thought that those were not who those flowers were going to. Now, I have to say, I love this one. I find it pretty ironic, because now, to order from 1-800-Flowers, you never have to call 1-800-Flowers again. So Messenger is going to be the next big platform for sharing privately, and for helping you connect with services in all kinds of new ways. And we're going to talk about this more in a second. All right. We're also at the beginning of a golden age of online video. And earlier this month, we opened up live video to everyone. And the response so far has been pretty amazing. People watch live videos longer, and they comment more than 10 times as much as on regular videos. People love going live because it's so unfiltered and personal, and you feel like you're just there hanging out with your friends. In a funny way, we've found that live takes some of the pressure off of having to find that perfect photo or video, because everyone knows it's live, and it's not curated. Public figures love going live too, because they're getting huge audiences. We're seeing TV stars get bigger audiences on live than they get on their TV shows. So we're going to build this out. We're making it a prominent tab in the Facebook app where you can go see what your friends and other people around the world are doing live right now. Just the other week, I saw a live video of a woman with her young kids skiing down a hill. And it was just mesmerizing. I watched it for like a few minutes because I'm like, I really want to make sure these kids get down this hill. There's usually people who are playing music or dancing in there. And then every once in a while, there's something that's really important and special happening. Like a couple of days ago, a woman named Lena commented on one of my posts to tell me that when her mother was sick in the hospital, she streamed her wedding on live so her mother and her friends across the country could not only see it, but could be there with them. Now, that's pretty meaningful. So that's a preview of Live. And today we have a developer announcement around Live too. We're opening up our Live API, so now you can build the ability to stream video to Facebook Live right into any device. Like, for example, this drone flying in from the back of the room. Come here, come here. DJI is one of our launch partners. And this little guy is going to be flying around and streaming F8 Live all day today. So say hi, everyone. Hey. All right, bye-bye, drone. All right. So we have Messenger Platform and Live. And these are two of the new ecosystems that we're going to focus on building out over the next 5 years to give everyone in the world the power to share anything they want with anyone. So that brings us to 10 years. Over the long term, we're focused on 3 major areas: connecting everyone to the internet, artificial intelligence to make services more intuitive and natural to use, and virtual and augmented reality to help us share and experience the world in a much richer way. So I want to start off by talking about connectivity. So right now, more than half of the world, more than 4 billion people, don't have access to the internet. And it turns out that there are 3 main reasons why people don't have access. The first is availability. You don't live near a network. That's about 1 billion people. The second is affordability. You live near a network, but you can't afford to use it. That's another 1 billion people. And the third reason, which is actually the biggest of all, is awareness, which is you do live near a network, and you can afford to use it, but you're not sure why you would want to spend some of your money on buying a data plan. And that's about another 2 billion people. So we're going to work on all of these different barriers. This is Aquila. It's a solar-powered plane that we've designed to beam down internet from the sky. And if you'd told me 12 years ago that one day Facebook was going to build a plane, I would have told you were crazy. But here we are. It has a wingspan wider than a 737, but it weighs less than a small car. It has solar panels on the whole width of the wings, so it can fly at about 60,000 feet in the air, which is about twice as high up as a normal commercial flight. And it can stay in the air beaming down internet for a few months at a time. All right, now check this out. This is an engine pod. This is one of them, to give you a sense of the scale. And this is, it's made of carbon fiber, so it's actually pretty light. There are, I think, about 8 of these on each plane, so we're going to end up building a lot of these for our fleet. All right. Now, in a few months, we're going to launch our first satellite into space to connect sub-Saharan Africa and people who don't have access to networks there. And tomorrow, you're going to hear about 2 powerful new systems we've built to improve connectivity on the ground in urban and rural areas. So we're really going at this problem from every possible angle. Now, then there's also affordability. And we can reduce people's data costs in two ways: use less data and make data cheaper. So to reduce data consumption, we've built a light framework for our apps. So now we can build apps that take about a quarter as much data as normal apps do. We've also open sourced a tool that I encourage you to check out called Augmented Traffic Control. And it makes it easier for you to develop services for the next billion people coming online in all different countries around the world by letting you simulate network conditions in all these kinds of different places. So you should check this one out. Now, to make data cheaper, we're building open source infra for telcos. So it's kind of like what we've done with the Open Compute project. And the idea is that if we can make it cheaper for telcos to operate their mobile infrastructure, then some of those cost savings are going to be passed along to people in the form of lower data prices. All right, now finally, we're also working on awareness by helping people who don't have access experience the value of the internet for free. So Free Basics is an open platform that any developer can build for to offer basic internet services to people for free without them having to pay. So there are tools like for education or health or basic communication services. In Indonesia, people are using a service JoPhone to find jobs and make job listings. In Colombia, people are using a service Undoc Trace to find doctors and get medical advice for free. Free Basics is already available in 37 countries, and it has already given access to internet services to more than 25 million people, which makes it one of the most successful connectivity initiatives in the world. And today, we're launching the Free Basics Simulator. So now you can see how your services are going to appear on the platform. All right, so that's connectivity. The next 10-year challenge that I want to talk about is how we're going to help people connect and share in a more natural and intuitive way. And our goal with artificial intelligence is to build systems that are better than people at perception. Right, so seeing, hearing, language, and so on. And it's already happening in some places. Our Moments app uses the best face recognition system in the world to help you look at the photos that you've taken and identify which of your friends are in them so you can share them with them if you want. Newsfeed uses AI to show you the best stories. And we use AI to filter spam out of Messenger. So that way you only get messages from people who you want to hear from. Last week, we announced a new way for people who are visually impaired to understand images. We built a tool that can now actually start to look at photos and understand what's in them. And it can read them out loud to you if you can't see the photo. So this is a great use of AI. And it's an important step towards making sure that everyone has equal access to information. Now, soon we're going to be able to do even more. Because right now, to show you the best stories in Newsfeed, we mostly look at some basic signals, like who your friends are or what pages you like. But we don't actually understand the meaning of the content. But in the future, we're going to be able to actually look at the photos and videos and understand what's in them. We're going to be able to read the articles and understand what they're about. And that's going to let us show more interesting content to you from across our community that we don't even know that you'll be interested in today. So like this mop dog for me, because that's my thing. All right, now what's so exciting about AI today is that researchers are using a lot of the same technology to solve completely different problems, like helping astronomers find new planets, or improving self-driving cars, or diagnosing diseases. So in a lot of ways, I actually think that advances in AI can help save people's lives. One of the most amazing examples I've seen recently was an AI system that can now tell from a photo whether a lesion on your skin is skin cancer with the same accuracy as the best doctors in the world. So imagine that. Soon, every doctor around the world is just going to have the ability to snap a photo and, as well as the best doctors in the world, be able to diagnose if you have cancer. That's going to save lives. And whether you're developing social tools or you're diagnosing diseases, you're using a lot of the same AI technology. So that's why we want to make it easier for you all to take advantage of all of the advances in AI technology that we're making. So that way, when we make a 10% improvement in our systems, your systems get 10% better at diagnosing diseases. So that's why we've open sourced our Torch modules to help researchers and engineers train their machine learning models. And why we've opened our designs for our GPU servers that we use to train our neural networks. So this way we can all make faster progress together. All right. One last thing. Finally, we're building technology that's going to change the way that we all experience the world. We started shipping Gear VR for $99 late last year, and the response so far has been really amazing. There are already hundreds of apps that are built specifically for Gear, and people have watched more than 2 million hours of video in Gear VR. Last month, we started shipping Oculus Rift, and we have one here. Here it is. So for the first time, you can have this kind of premium virtual reality experience in your living room. And from the moment it shipped, it has a great content lineup with more than 50 games on the platform. So check this out for a second. Later this year, we're going to release these touch controllers, which bring your hands into VR too. So instead of looking around and feeling like you're immersed, you will now also be able to modify the world, right? You'll be able to pick things up and give them to other people and interact. So it's going to add a whole new layer of immersion. And one reason why I think that this is also important is that for our mission is that we're working on a whole new set of social experience as well across all of these different VR platforms. So I think that virtual reality has the potential to be the most social platform because you actually feel like you're right there with another person. So check out this preview of a very early, very simple social experience that you can have. And keep in mind that these people are physically in completely different places, but they feel like they're there with each other, playing ping pong, shooting each other, making art, and just hanging out. And they feel like you're actually right there with a person. So this is a kind of social experience that you can't have on any existing platform today. And it's one of the reasons why we're so excited about this. Now, over the next 10 years, the form factor is just going to keep on getting smaller and smaller, and eventually we're going to have what looks like normal-looking glasses that can do both virtual and augmented reality. And augmented reality gives you the ability to see the world, but also to be able to overlay digital objects on top of that. So that means, today if I want to show my friends a photo, I pull out my phone and I have a small version of the photo. In the future, you'll be able to snap your fingers and pull out a photo and make it as big as you want, and with your AR glasses, you'll be able to show it to people, and they'll be able to see it. As a matter of fact, when we get to this world, a lot of things that we think about as physical objects today, like a TV for displaying an image, will actually just be $1 apps in an AR app store. So it's going to take a long time to make this work. But this is the vision, and this is what we're trying to get to over the next 10 years. Now, before we wrap up today, we have a surprise for you, which is that we want each of you to leave with your very own VR experience to take with you. So everyone here is going to get a Gear VR and a Samsung phone to power it. So they're going to be I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys do with this. And they're going to be ready to pick up later today by registration. All right. So that's it. That's all we're doing. That's the roadmap for the next 10 years. We are building the technology to give everyone the power to share anything they want with anyone else. And everything we're doing is about building technology that brings people together. Because whether you just want to hang out with a few friends, or start a business, or help solve the world's problems, the path forward is to connect people. That's how we make progress together. And that's why I think the work that we're all doing together is so important. Because if you believe, like I do, that when you give more people a voice, that makes the world better, then we have a lot of reasons to be optimistic about the future. And I'm excited to work on all of this with all of you. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to hand it off to Deb to walk through this in a bit more detail. Have a great F8.